Hot damn. It's Ninja Biz News. Jake Blitz. Back with another interview and a special guest. Let's see who we have.
Hot damn. This is your man Jake Blitz, Ninja Biz News. Ladies and gentlemen, I have a guest with me today, and not just any guest, a special guest. Ah, yes. Today I'm sitting here with the ever so lovely, the so graceful, so elegant, yet it's so witty when it comes to strangling the life out of a microphone. Sitting in front of me, ladies and gentlemen, is the one and only lyrical femc, the freckle-faced cutie with the slim booty, the tall order that'll make you cross the border. I present to you Miss X Rita, aka Bigg Coug. And on that note, I will let her say what she needs to say. Why don't you break it on down, you sweet, sexy thing, you?
I don't even know what to say after that. Yes, this is Bigg Coug, Miss X. If you knew me back in the day, it's Miss Ecstasy, live in the flesh.
Whoa.
Pants on. About to take these shoes in a minute.
Hot. It's getting pretty hot in here, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, well, Miss Rita, let's get to this interview. I won't take up too much of your time. Just a few questions, if you don't mind.
No.
First question I like to ask is, how and why did you get involved in the diss wars?
Oh, man, they pulled me in.
And when you mean by they, who is they, or who is them, or him, her, shim? So many identities these days.
A lot of people.
Yeah.
I'm going to just keep it a shim. I don't know who that is, but
right.
He meant you. I got pulled into the diss wars because I made a comment that there was a diss wars going on back in the day, and when I got involved, like, people wanted to back out because it was real beef.
Oh, wow.
And so when I mentioned it, like, oh, now you guys are making like it like this, but when I was doing it, it was serious, and everybody was backing out and then tagging themselves from my responses and whatnot. So from what I heard, they went back to the other person, shout out to you, boo, and told her that I wrote a diss track about her already.
Okay.
This is what she told me. And so she wrote her song and was like, I'm gonna strike first. Excuse me, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
They said she decided she was gonna strike first. And so I was writing another song in the studio with incredible, shout out to you, Paul Brinkley. And he kind of tapped me on the shoulder like, hey, it's a diss track out about you right now. And I was like, for real? And so when I heard it, I was like, oh yeah, tag me in. Boop, boop. But me and her had a beef that's been kind of like a sibling rivalry. So it was going to happen. I knew it was going to happen. And I'm glad it did.
All right. And since the battle had took place, where do you two stand out? Where do you two stand at as of now?
Man, that's my motherfucking little sis, bro. We gonna fight like you ever had a sibling you just fight with, but you want to fuck out them. That's my dog. Like, if you, at the end of the day, I think she's a dope artist. Okay. And she's actually an artist that I can get on camera and say that I sought after to work with when I started back rapping after I had been on a hiatus. So shout out to Diazene. Like, she's amazing. Like, her music is dope. Like, I feel like we make, like, me and her will have conversations on the phone and we'll play music that we've done recently, and the song sounds similar. And we haven't even talked to each other, so I know that we're kind of like on that level.
Right. Speaking of recent music, I did come across a good amount of tracks that was rather, how would you first say it? Nasty? If that's what you would like to call it these days. It tickled my fancy. It did. And then
other fancy.
Maybe so in a real life. So with that being spoken, what brings you to this particular style of being so intimate on the microphone?
I'm grown.
Okay.
When you write in music in your 40s, you gotta come different than you did in your 20s. Like,
right.
You can't just be like, oh, I'm gonna take a nigga money and I got this pussy and the pussy and the pussy and the pussy.
Right.
Like, you gotta have something more to offer to a grown man. So me, the way I'm writing music lately is because I want to appeal to the grown man audience. Like, no man want to hear about he gonna come to a bitch house and she gonna run through his pockets and have all her homegirls twerking on the top of his Mercedes. Sometimes he wants to come home to a hot shower, bath being prepared for him. You know, a woman that's just like on go, like ready, like wow,
right out the doorway, right?
You know, feel me? Like it's like hold my calls.
Right. I did enjoy your song. I really did. Shouts out to, you say Diazene?
Diazene.
Yes, she had a nice song as well. I don't know how expensive real ass is these days.
It's priceless.
Okay,
is what I will say.
Okay.
Shouts out to Issa Simone for her verse on that too. That shit was fire. I wasn't even gonna lie. I like the way that the ladies represented themselves, and not only the diss wars, but in the music battles. And shout out to Mac for stepping up and changing up the flow, because it's like a mix now. Like the people that were in the diss wars are now putting out their music. You've seen that they have bars, because to be able to get in the studio and diss somebody like that, you got to stare at in the face in town. It's got to be a hard feat, and then you get to see their bars. And now a lot more artists are becoming more proactive in submitting their music. So I love what I'm seeing. It's dope.
Highly agree with you. And shouts out to My Black and My Mickey's podcast. And also, so I just have two more questions. What is your most favorite diss track and songs that you have been hearing lately? And my second question is, what will be your least favorite diss track and least songs that you've been hearing lately?
Yeah. Don't fight me.
Please speak freely, please.
Favorites. So, besides mine, I'm gonna actually. This is hard.
I'll give you three.
Diss track. Okay, you gonna give me three?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm gonna keep it real. I like Mac a lot because it was creative and he took his time to put that fly on the lip. And I like the Candle on the 9. And I like to see him step up lyrically. So shout out to him. I think number 2 would be the diss track Against Me, Thumbs Down, because it made me come out and have to showcase my lyrical skills. So again, shout out to Oz. And then, third favorites. I like He's Alive by Stax.
Okay.
Because everybody was fighting Stax. So although Incredible had a dope diss track and it wasn't boring, it was like 10 minutes of him just going off on us. I like the fact that Stax never backed down. And he showed up like, I'm alive. So I like that one. So if you had to ask me, I would choose those.
Fairly agree.
Least favorite diss track. It's dope. It's Charlie Chain.
Okay.
He got everybody looking at me like I suck dick because I'm light skinned, not in freckle face. Like I don't like that. Like don't ever speak on me again. But
I did not mean to interrupt, but I'm just curious. With all this grown music that you refer to, is that just something that you just don't partake into doing?
No, it's just like the only reason I responded is because like, when you're in the dating world, and especially when you're a person that's an entertainer or wants to be involved in music, yes. It's not no dude want to be on a date with you and hear about somebody who shouts out to Miss X, I whoop my dick sucked by a freckle face. Nobody wants to hear that on a date.
I totally understand.
I had to respond like, nigga, you will put some respect on my name. Who the fuck is you talking to?
I totally get it.
And I don't think the diss track was trash or anything like that. That nigga did exactly what he was supposed to do as a New Orleans artist who's in Stockton. But keep my name out your mouth about that, because that would be uncomfortable on a date. So I had to earn back my respect as a woman, because if you don't, it's like when your parents tell you got to go and jump in that fight. If you don't, everybody's going to be coming for you.
Oh, yeah.
So I really didn't want to hear a whole bunch of dudes talking about doing sexual things to me. Like, I'm not a woman who demands respect. I don't care how you see me dressed. You can't fight me.
I totally respect that.
That part.
Totally understand. And what would be your last two least?
Last two weakest diss tracks?
Yes.
That monkey shoulder thing that they did about Incredible, I didn't like that, because it was like inciting violence in a different way, like that we were. It kind of threw off the mood, because the diss tracks, to me, the way I always took it, mind you, somebody done said they wanted a dick sucked by me, and I just responded
right
in lyrics. I didn't go in there talking about I'm about to shoot up this shit and whatnot. I just made them uncomfortable.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I felt like you took the diss track wars and made it start getting into the streets, getting involved where it didn't need to go, and that's not where it was going to go. So I didn't like that one. And but I liked the first one he did. That was funny. The first one, he could have just got that like recorded in a better studio. That would have, you know, popped off. It actually probably, if he would have got it recorded better, it probably would have did more than it did. And then other least favorite, the one that D said he gonna do about me. I don't know. The fuck. You don't want none of this smoke.
Totally understandable. Totally understandable.
But, yeah, you know, but I think everybody did a good job on Diss Wars. I think everybody, just don't ever, Sazu, do me a favor. Don't you ever do no dance segment and on this song again out of nowhere. I don't know. You was. What was you singing when you was doing it?
I have no clue what he was singing what he was doing.
When you were doing your video, your diss track, and you had a little dance segment. What was you singing?
I have no clue what he was doing. This is Jake Blitz, and I will definitely give him that message. Sazu, if you're watching this,
he's coming for you, for
He's
sure.
coming for you.
And I'm going to bring the chair. I'm going to sit in the chair. She got me fucked up. But it was creative. I like the fact that y'all got up on y'all opponents. Y'all bars be on point. Y'all made people really see that people in Stockton actually do got bars. We do got music, and we do got a different sound. People hate on us, but they gravitate towards everything that we do.
Totally agree.
It's like, you know, we create a buzz. So you're sitting up there dissing the diss wars, but you're watching.
Right.
So it sounds like you just want to be a part of it, but you're scared that you can't write a better diss than the person that you'll have to diss.
That's called being hypocritical.
Period.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Well, before we close out, because we do have to close out, we have to go pay some bills and go shake some hands and kiss some babies.
If anybody want to pay my bills, you know, hit me up. No, just playing.
She does have a Cash App. All right. Well, with that being said, is there anything else you would like to say?
Shout out to all the dope artists and producers and people offering up studio time to give more shine to the 209. You guys are understanding the assignment that the spotlight is on us. I encourage artists with a different sound to don't be afraid to put your sound out. Let me tell you something. Destiny's Child and Usher didn't get picked on Star Search. And look at where they're at now. So just keep putting your material out there. Take the good with the bad and enjoy the ride. It's for all of us. Whether you're 24 or 44 or 14, it's for all of us. And we have to learn how to support each other. Don't be afraid to support what you think sounds good. Even if it's not what other people like, don't be afraid to support it, because you might be helping that person reach a platform that they never knew they could reach.
Hot damn. Wise words from a wise queen.
Yeah, feel me?
And on that note, we will be closing out. And thank you, Mrs. X Rita.
Miss X, your favorite ex-girlfriend, ex-friend, ex-lover, ex-fighter, whatever you want.
X marks the motherfucking spot. Well, thank you so much. And signing out, this is Jake Blitz, Ninja Biz News. We're out.
She's nasty. Sexual seduction with no interruption.
Yeah, after the session took place, took a break. Both G's pulled up, lot of G and lot of bumpy face. Two girls went and found them both on MySpace. One hella thick, but the other had a bumpy face. Whatever, the more hoes, more better.